Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of The Forest. Now, I have gotten a lot of work done this past week on the roof. As you can see, it's almost done. We are at 202 logs originally. I'm down to 20, and I have a full load there, and I have a full load and all four of my sleds down there. So we're going to get this finished. I've also got the bone fence already finished to line it. And once this is done, I'm going to start doing some decorating, and we're going to see what we get done now, because I am really ready to finish this build and be done with this base for a little while, because I've got another base idea in mind that I'm really a lot more interested in trying to do. So let's hurry up and get this done. All right, so here we are with the last two logs, and we're about to get the roof finished. And there's one thing I have learned from this build is that the net space, I'm not going to put a door in right away. I'm either going to use the big gate in the defensive walls, or I am going to build it with a opening and put the doorway in later, so I can actually carry the sleds up and into the house to build and make it easier to haul everything up. So now we have this finished. I don't like the way the roof sits with it open like that. Maybe they'll fix that later on in the design. I did want kind of an arched roof. I don't know why I had to make it with a completely open middle section. That just doesn't look right. But now I need to get some lights in here, and I need to figure out how I want to make everything look. And what I want to do is I want to do like archery targets on the end. I think that would be a really nice little change. You know, I don't have those anywhere else. And this would be kind of a nice setup, and using this as like archery practice, sort of. But at the same time, I also kind of want to have room for some other stuff. I'm actually kind of not liking my garden that I have downstairs anymore. So I kind of want to have a garden up here instead. And I'm also thinking about, because of how slow the rabbit breeding rate is right now, which is understandable, because when they originally put rabbit breeding in the game, it was so quick that it pretty much broke the game mechanics, and that you just go to sleep, you get rabbits like crazy. So they had to change that to get it to be viable. And all this time, last like 2 weeks, I just now finally got my second rabbit to breed right here. So these are the two original ones, I think, and that's the two that have actually been created through breeding. And it's taken like probably almost, a month of in-game days, a month for this to happen. So it's definitely not a fast process by any means now. So what I'm thinking is I want to get a potentially a whole new set of rabbit pens upstairs, specifically so I can do like a whole line of them. And one thing I kind of want to do, I'm thinking of trying to do a trick I've seen some people use, and that is to build basically a shelf where I'll build it and have the rabbits there, and I can look at them and see them from here, and then have a shelf that I put another set of pens on top of, and I can have even more. And I kind of like the idea of doing that, getting those rabbits out of there and putting them up like here, a whole row of rabbits right here, and then put my garden stuff here, and then I can walk up here and be ready to just walk over and shoot some archery targets. Let's go ahead and get sticks started on this. Alright, so I've got my logs in place, and now I need to make some blue paint, which is simple, just 2 sets of blueberries and then 1 piece of sap. And we got paint, paint, paint. Alright, so now let's do some archery practice. That didn't look right. Look where I'm aiming at. Alright, so I've got a way to practice my archery now. And that looks pretty good. I went ahead and slept through the night just because I needed to keep my sleep cycle fairly consistent. So I'll need to wait till it gets dark again and start putting up the lights. But that means now I've got room to move my garden up here. And it's a question of how I want to make this line up, because I want to have it. I was still thinking about extending this up right here and cutting a hole in the roof and making a big tower. I'm not 100% sure I'm still going to do that. Just because of how much trouble it was just to get the logs up the stairs for this. That's a really big pain. And I kind of like the idea of just sticking with something simpler. Maybe leaving it like it is and moving to the next location with the new base design, which I am eager to get started on because I really like the idea I've got in my head for that. A lot more than this. And I'm really kind of just tired of this area. I'm getting attacked so much. I want a place that's much more defensible and easier for me to not deal with a ton of cannibal attacks all the time. So now it's a question of, I know I can build the cages the way I want, but am I going to be able to get the shelf set up the way I want? I don't know yet. Let me get these rabbit pens kind of lined up the way I want, and then I want to see if I can get the cage to possibly work. Alright, so at worst case, I'm going to have a total of 8 rabbit pens once this is done, and I need a lot of sticks, so I think it's time to go and fill up a sled with some sticks. I'm just going to have to deal with the pain of dragging it all the way down and all the way back up. I've said this in a past episode, and I've seen other YouTubers do it for the game. Quick way to get rid of bushes, small trees, things for sticks. Use the repair hammer, because you just sit there and take them down super quick. You're not wearing it down, doing anything like that. So it's very, very easy. Just go ahead and grab a whole bunch of sticks that way. Alright, so that is the first sled full, plus my inventory is full again. So that should be a total of 58 sticks for a sled. And yeah, somebody saw me. As one thing that's been so irritating with trying to build everything is that the cannibals just won't leave me alone at all. And surprisingly, with as loud as the chainsaw is, I've been using it to chop down all the trees for this, and they haven't been coming out to get me as a result of the chainsaw. They're just showing up regardless. On a side note, for the chainsaw, I have come across, there are additional places where you can get fuel for the chainsaw that do respawn after a game save is loaded. And I also found another bug. I'm pretty sure they're going to end up treating the game save, reload, spawn locations as a bug just because it's so OP that you can just run right back and grab 2 more canisters of fuel for it. All you got to do is load the game. I'm sure they're going to fix that, put it on timer. But I found another bug that's even worse than that. And what it is if you don't use all the gas up in the chainsaw, if you have a partially used tank, and you log out, save, log out, log back in to your game, and come back and play, when you pull the chainsaw out, that tank will be full again. I didn't find out by trying to exploit it. I just found it out because there was a lot of cases this week where all I had time to do was a quick run of chopping down a bunch of trees and try to grab as many logs as I could. So I'll do a run where I go chop down until I had all of these sleds full of logs, including the one from up top, full of logs, and I would put all the logs in place, then save, and have to come back at another time to work on it. And I noticed that I was coming back and loading my save and going to use the chainsaw again, and it was full on fuel, that I wasn't having to actually refuel it any, because every time I logged back in, the fuel level on it, that on the current tank for it, was back to full regardless. And fortunately, chopping down enough trees to fill up all these carts, plus this one here didn't even use a full tank of the gas for the chainsaw. So I was able to sit there and chop them down without having to fill up at any point. And then when I loaded back to save, I would have full gas again. It'd be back to full level on the fuel. And adding that adds on top of the fact that one of the spawn locations for the additional fuel tanks is nearby. It's actually at this little side hut along the edge of the cliff over this way that we've been to, where there's some ropes. It's actually there, and of course that's right, I got rid of all my sticks. So let me get a stick real quick and I'll fix this trap for you guys, let you trip it and not get killed by it, because that's what you like to do. Now, how did he stand on it and not die from that? Seriously, how were you standing there and did not die? Come on. Alright. Bring it on. Let's go. Oh yeah, you that's trying to get away from me. You're not doing that now. They are being a lot more active now, coming around here and doing effigies when I am busy trying to build stuff. And look at it, they just won't leave me alone long enough for me to get anything done. That's why I'm so glad to have the chainsaw now, because I can actually sit there and get a decent amount of trees chopped down quickly and not be, because I'm always getting disrupted by these guys. There you go. That glitch is still happening too. If you notice there, we've had that happen in the past where they'll get stuck there and they'll just be kind of standing there. Okay, and somebody else just appeared on that one. They'll get stuck standing there and they'll be alive, and you can sit there and hear them growling at you and everything, but they won't move. But if you trigger the trap again, it triggers and kills them like they got stuck in the trap, unable to move for whatever purpose. And so now I got, like, see if maybe I can get him. See, he got stuck. Look at that. Got him. Oh, I spoke too soon. We've got an armsy somewhere. We'll see if I can keep his attention somewhere else. Oh, I think there's a cowman too. And I need food. Crap. Alright. Hopefully the armsy and cow mutant, whatever else, won't come rushing down and tearing up my base until I can get some food in me. Why can't you just go play with your friends elsewhere? Now, I don't hear the armsy anymore. I wonder if that was more of a patrol and not these guys, you know, getting mad and running out and saying, hey, we need help over here. Because I don't hear the armsy anymore. I was all prepared to take him down. Try to keep their attention away from the base walls. Alright, so I've got all of my containers done for the rabbits. So now let's see them a little bit better. It's too dark right here. I need a better way to see. And we're going to get this. We're going to put it to the side. I want maximum coverage. I guess, yeah, put one here. And we'll put one over here along the seam. Yeah. Alright, so I got plenty of room for rabbits. I've got to get 2 more of these pulled out. I'm going to get this set up. I guess it's going to sit right here. Yeah, we'll just go right here. That's good enough for now. And I want to go ahead and get my rabbits moved so I can break these things down. Wow! Look at that. I've already got another one after I said that on cam about how slow the breeding process is. Now it decides to kind of kick in gear and give me 2 rabbits in one video. That's awesome. So, what I'm thinking and what I've seen other people do is basically the custom floor needs some kind of a wall, essentially, to act like it has a foundation. And so the trick has been to build a short rock wall on each side of where you want your flooring to go. And I don't know how this is going to work, considering that I have the actual walls here as well. That may cause a problem with it. I'm not sure. I have not tried this yet. So we're just going to give it a shot. Worst case, I end up with a couple rock walls that, you know, give me a nice outline to where my rabbits are. And there we go. All right, so now the idea is that I should just select custom floor. If I can get it to line up with it. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Okay. So it's going across not quite the way I want. Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, I'm having to do it like that. Alright, so I want to get it out of the wall as much as possible. And it doesn't have to be all the way out of the wall, because, I mean, it seems to be treating it like there's a anchor point behind everything. Maybe I can set it right here, like that. I wonder how much that's actually, like, sticking out. Can't see it. I see it sticking out a little bit there. And it's going through the window, which I guess is going to be fine for my purposes with this. And that's only 4 logs, too. So I can still grab out of that, and I can still see down in them like that. Okay, there we go. So we have a shelf. And actually, I had to reload the game because what I did was I walked over here with 2 logs in hand and tried to place them. And instead what it did was it grabbed both rabbits out of this first pen. And I didn't have them where I could put them back in the pen. They were just kind of not there. And I looked in my inventory and they weren't there either. They just kind of disappeared and went to limbo. So I had to reload the game and come all the way down here to get it to target the end where I could see the actual build icon to place the logs and get this to work. Now, actually, let's see if I can actually, yep. So I still could take them out. I can still see them. So now, can I build an additional cage? Yes, I can. Oh, yeah, there we go. So there's one. This is going to get in front of the light, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. I may be doing something like that with some arrow storage at the new base location when I get it going. But I think that's going to be it for today's episode, everybody. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish getting these done because while I do want to move to a new base location and start working on it, I will still be continuing working here some and be using this as kind of a base of operations for the time being until that new location is up and functional more. And of course, I want to be able to come back here and do stuff. So it'll be nice to be able to have all these rabbits here. I can just run back, kill a couple of rabbits, one from each cage, go and hang them up to dry and have food and not have to worry about it spoiling. So I'm definitely going to keep this place going. So I want to finish these cages. But I'm going to call it on today's episode. And what I think, unless they come out with some new update, now that has some new item, like a complement to the chainsaw or something like that, that I want to go and grab, I'm going to start looking at next week's episode being the initial scouting and getting everything kind of initially figured out and started on the new location, the new base, because I really have got a really nice idea in my head for that, and I'm really excited to try and get that going, even though I know it's going to be a lot of pain in building and getting all that actually running. But once it's, the basics are started, I'll have food and everything there, and it'll be pretty much like this base was, where we sit there and just work on it. And with that location, I'm hoping it'll be a lot easier to build at times, because I won't be having as many problems with cannibals coming around and attacking me constantly. But like I said, that's going to be it for today's episode. So thanks for watching. Alright everyone, thanks for watching as always. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, you hit me up and follow me on Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with your daily dosage of MSG. And as always, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.